Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to our Global Associate Meeting. It's Andy Hansen here, standing in for Mr. Dan Anderson, your President and CEO, who has been delayed in the meeting, unfortunately, but he may join us halfway through, so you never know. It's not going to be that long a webinar, actually. There's not too much to cover this week. I mean, there's lots of important stuff, but it's not going to be like an hour or anything like that. So, let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at some events that have been happening, what's in the news, some very exciting news that has appeared second week on the trot, actually, because we had good news coming out of China last week, if you remember. The LeoCoin market service, and we're going to look at LeoCoin 3, live seminars that are coming up, and then some notices. So hopefully you've got your pad and pen to take lots of notes. Don't forget, after this, then Jeff will be sending out his synopsis of the call with recordings and all the other lovely stuff in there. So make sure that you do get your team members to look at that, to review it, and to make sure they're in the loop. Then there's no excuses that they didn't know what's going on in the business. So the first one, Morocco. The executive trip, I just came back yesterday. Well, I got in at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. So I was only there for the actual training days, but it's from the 5th to the 9th, so the last day now. A fantastic time, 27 members there that are representing 5 countries, and lots of great information and photos and things to share. You'll see on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So make sure you share that. That is a great recruiting tool, by the way, when you're talking to someone about the possibilities of working with you and your team and working with Leo on our goals around the world. Then Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are always good things to use. And we've had a great time while we were there, and they still are having a great time. They've been out today doing sports and all sorts of team building stuff. So on the actual training day, which was Saturday, then Wendy Lee gave her inaugural solo presentation, would you believe, general manager of Asia. And of course, Wendy's known for always being on stage having to translate everybody else, but not being up there on her own. And she did an absolutely amazing job. She presented in English and Mandarin at the same time, which is some feat, and she did a great presentation. Waka Sahel was there as well, so our general manager from the Dubai region, who gave a very inspiring presentation. And of course, Mihir. Mihir was there to wrap up the day and to talk about the future of the company, cryptocurrency, and all that lovely stuff. So we had a great day. It was a real personal meeting with lots of hands-on training, lots of questions and answers and all that sort of stuff. And then they obviously went to explore, as is all part of the executive trip, is to learn about other people's cultures, is to see the world through a different set of eyes. And Marrakesh in Morocco is certainly one of those places that is a real change. And if you think it's only like 3 hours from the UK, and yet when you land there, you may as well be on the other side of the planet. It seems so far away from how we live here in the UK, and the architecture, the climate, everything is just so different. And yet it's only a 3-hour flight. It's unbelievable. So they've been out looking at the ancient architecture. They've been up in the Atlas Mountains. They've been at the bazaars and the shopping markets. They've been taking rides in horse-drawn carriages and all that lovely stuff, all in the blazing sunshine, because it's still in the high 30s there. And they've really had a blast. And you can see the team here in different locations around the place, be it at the resort or actually up in the Atlas Mountains. They went out 4x4ing, and they've done loads. And I'm sure they'll need a week's holiday to recover from all the energy that they've been expelling. Of course, today they've been doing their leadership training and their team building and all that physical stuff. So it's really a good thing. And if you've never been on an executive trip, then I would really urge you to go to the executive trip website, take a look at some of the past events that have been held, and really ask yourself the question, why not? Why not you? Why shouldn't you go and experience someone else's culture and also learn about your business and meet with executives, etc., and do some networking? It's a great thing to do, and it's a big milestone as well in your business, because it means that you're really starting to develop a team now, and it's the first sort of real level of leadership. And it enables you to connect with the wider community of Leo. And really, that's what's life about, isn't it? Making connections, meeting different people from different cultures, and learning their culture and understanding their culture, and also showing our own. So if you've never been on an executive trip, you've not qualified executive yet, What are you waiting for? It's simply a decision away. You need to set the goal, plan your work, and work your plan. And I'd look forward to seeing you at one of our future executive trips somewhere in the world. So now let's look at our attention at some team things that have been going on around the world. And no surprise, because it's nearly a weekly occurrence, that Stone and his team in Canada have been holding events and have been doing their weekly trainings that they have for their members and their LeoCoin merchants. And here you can see some pictures where after one of their meetings, they've gone off to a locally owned restaurant. It's owned actually by one of our Leo members, Sarah Yang, and they go after their training sessions there to her restaurant so they can eat and have some drinks and have some real sort of nice bonding time with the team. And the great news is that Sarah's business accepts LeoCoin. How cool is that? So now they can go and do their training, and then they can go spend some of their LeoCoins getting their bellies filled with some lovely Oriental food. And this is just another slide which shows each and every one of us that LeoCoin is relevant, it's topical, it's in the marketplace, and the way for it to develop in its value and in its relevantness, I don't think that's even a word, Jeff will tell me off, but anyway, making it more relevant and also making it more valuable is for us all to help expand the Leo Merchant Program by helping merchants come on board and understand why they should be accepting LeoCoin. Supply and demand. The more people that want it, the more valuable something will become. So well done, Stone and all the team, and it's always a pleasure to see what they're doing. And I can't wait to go over to Canada, because I think all he needs now is a hotel. I'll be able to get in a hotel, I'll be able to eat and do everything and pay with LeoCoin. And then we hop across to China, to Fujian province, which is national holiday. And the members there have called it the National Holiday and Leo Merchant Day, and they've been having some trainings and some meetings with merchants and members about the future of Leo and LeoCoin and advantages of becoming a LeoCoin merchant. Also their Leo Fortune Tour that they're doing, the leaders there have really created something marvelous. They've got their own platform as well, and a marketplace where LeoCoins are used as a payment method with different merchants. So again, it seems to be that our Chinese-speaking members are the ones that are really, really spearheading the way here as regards the merchant program. And I'm confident that that's going to spread like a bushfire across the rest of the teams around the world, especially when we get to launching the new LeoCoin merchant program, which we'll be talking about a little bit more as we go through the slides. So well done to the team there in Fujian province. And then on October the 6th, so a couple of days ago, there was a Leo Merchants Day and some training that was held, and also some training held at one of our directors' homes there for merchants and for members. That was on October the 6th. And again, you can see the focus here in China. It's all about the merchants. It's all about making LeoCoin accepted in more places so it becomes more relevant, more topical, etc., etc. So I do think as we're moving through and we're, before you know it, we'll be in Brazil, then maybe we need to ask Stone in Brazil if he would be prepared to come on stage and share what he and his team are doing in Canada and China and all around the world, actually, with the wider community of Leo, because I think that would be a really good session. So I must make a note of that, and I'll have a chat with Dan about that one. So good events that have been going on around the place. That takes us nicely into Brazil. As you know, Brazil is now, as an incentive, is closed. So that's for new people qualifying to actually come along. Without doubt, it is the fastest event to ever be sold out, so to speak, as regards qualification. And it's also got the largest numbers. I mean, we are realistically looking at potentially having 700 Leo qualifiers at that event. Yes, you heard that right, 700. And we think back to Mauritius, we're looking at almost tripling the numbers from Mauritius to Brazil. That is a testament to each and every one of you, the hard work that you've put into your businesses to qualify to go. Now, if you've qualified for an odd number of tickets, so 1, 3, 5, 7, you can still qualify for another ticket to make your ticket allocation an even number. And the reason for that is because the rooms are dual occupancy. So if you qualify for one ticket, it's you on your own in your room. But you can qualify for a second ticket, even though the incentive is closed, because obviously we'd like to have a body in every place where there's a bed. So it may be for your loved one, your spouse, partner, or it may be a team member that you'd like to bring along. that's up to you. But you still, if you've already qualified for an odd number of tickets, have the ability to qualify for more tickets to take your allocation up to the next even number. But you only have to the 31st of October to do that, guys. So, you know, the clock is ticking. And I would strongly suggest, if you've got 1 ticket or 3 or 5, that you continue to work hard, you continue to do what you need to do and qualify for yet another ticket, so that you can give someone else the experience of Brazil. And it's gonna be such an experience. I mean, you know, Mauritius was amazing, but Brazil, purely because of the sheer volume of numbers and members attending, is going to be something that you definitely would not want to miss. And it is a vibrant country, you know, the whole carnival atmosphere that you get there in Brazil, and there's so many fantastic things that are planned. So don't procrastinate. Please don't start emailing on the 1st of November into team support saying, oh, I didn't know and I want to qualify for another ticket to get an even number. It will be too late. 31st of October is it. The door will shut. So if you're nearly there on qualifying for another ticket, just go that extra bit. Just push that extra bit more so that you actually manage to do it. And then take your loved one or take someone that you think is going to be a big player for you in your business and show them what a Leo Global Annual Conference is really all about. So in the news, great article this, and we just wanted to really share the 5 tips, if you like, about becoming a successful entrepreneur. You know, it really is funny, because when you travel around the world and you meet people, and not within Leo, just general people at airports, hotels and things, you ask them what they do, they say, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. And I often wonder when someone says that, whether they really are, or whether they're using that as a generic term, you know, to make themselves feel like they're important or something like that. Because, you know, being an entrepreneur is about creating something from nothing. It's about taking a vision, a dream, an idea from your mind, getting it on paper, turning it into a business plan, launching a business, making it successful and profitable and future-proof and all those things. So I think a lot of people that say they're entrepreneurs probably aren't in the way that you and I would think someone is an entrepreneur. However, the good news is we all know we are. And these 5 tips really are good. And you're going to see there's a lot of synergy here between what this article says and what we teach in the Getting Started guide, and in particularly as relation to goal setting that we use, which is in the Getting Started guide. So the first thing you need to do is to take it one step at a time. You set daily, weekly, and monthly goals. You know, we talk about that. You know, you need very small goals, and you also need very large goals and everything in between. And, you know, it could be as simple as at the end of the day, and this is something I've always done, before I finish for the day, I get out my pad and I write down all the things that I need to get achieved the next day. And I don't number them, because generally none are more important than the other. It's my to-do list for the day. And so when I go to sleep, I already know what I'm going to do when I wake up. Once I've woken up, then I start going through that list. Now, sometimes I get pulled off track because I have to suddenly do something I wasn't expecting. But ultimately, I want to get that list done. You know, we call it a clean desk policy. I don't want anything left undone on my desk. And that's a great way, particularly in network marketing, to build your business. And you should have, you know, simple little things to do each day, like make a new contact. So add a new person to your prospect list, make some phone calls, call some people on your prospect list, follow up with some of your newest team members. Because don't forget, we should spend 80% of our time working with the newest people in our team, and 20% of our time working with the older guys and the leaders that are in our team. Not the other way around, because our business will grow from the bottom up. It grows from new members. And it's so important when a new member comes in your team that you set goals to communicate with them, to help them, to guide them, and to coach them. So do set goals. And if you haven't done it, what are you waiting for? Get your Getting Started guide downloaded, fill it in, and then share it with your upline. Number 2, don't let failure floor you. All top achievers have experienced adversity along the way. I remember hearing Richard Branson saying once, you're not an entrepreneur until you've been bankrupt twice. I'm not sure we all need to go to that length, but I get what he's saying. And that is that until you fail, you don't know how successful you can become. And it doesn't matter how big you fail. What matters is how high you bounce back from that failure, because we all have adversity. We all have things that happen to us in our lives. So don't let failure knock you down. You know, if you pick up the phone and call someone and they tell you they're definitely not interested in joining you in your Leo adventure, well, it's not the end of the world. All you've got to say to yourself is next, and you just go to the next person on the list. That only becomes an issue when your list is exhausted, and that's why every day you should be adding new people to your list, because you're meeting new people each and every day. Number 3, keep your spirits high. Now, not alcohol, we're talking about your spirits, your emotions, your attitude, your feeling. You know, success is a frame of mind, and you have to be positive. Now, I'm not talking about being positive as in La La Land. You know, I mean, I could be as positive as I like, but the likelihood of me landing on the moon is very, very, very slim. So I can be positive about it, but it doesn't mean that Andy's going to walk on the moon, does it? What we're talking about is being a realist, being a real positive person, and knowing that positive thinking will allow you to achieve anything better than negative thinking. And let me say that again. Positive thinking allows you to achieve anything better than negative thinking. We don't look at the glass as half full or half empty. There's water in it, so drink it. It's as simple as that. We're looking at it through a set of eyes that says, I have to look for the positive in every adversity, and out of that adversity, I can create a positive. That is the way to look at things. That doesn't mean you can, you know, do the impossible, like me landing on the moon. But what it does mean is everything you attempt to do will be better with positive thinking than negative thinking. And positive thinking is something you have to learn. It's not something that comes naturally to any of us, and we're surrounded with negative anyway in the world's press and the media and all that stuff. You know, they have you to believe this is such a terrible place to live and we're all killing each other and all that rubbish. It's really not the case. And as you travel the world and you meet more people from different cultures and backgrounds, you realize that actually we have more in common than we actually have that's not common. And we all have the same basic wants and desires, and we want to be reasonably wealthy, healthy, and happy. And if we can get all 3 of those, then we've lived a very, very fulfilled life. So be positive and work on being positive. You know, there's things that will pull you down. There may be people that will pull you down. Well, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to allow those negative people to pull you down and hold you back from your given right to be successful? Number 4, think long term. Okay, overnight success, it says is a myth. Well, some people get overnight success, but it doesn't last. So what I would say is overnight success that lasts is a myth. All right, you've got to be patient, and you've got to be persistent, and you've got to understand that your development to long-lasting success is little steps. It's inch by inch, it's a cinch, rather than trying to do it yard by yard. That's really, really hard, okay? So we do it in little bitty steps, and each time you pick up the phone and make a successful contact, that's another little inch towards your success. Each time you do a successful presentation, you're inching further towards your success. Don't chase the money, because if you attempt to chase the money, then what you'll get is temporary success. It will come and it will go. What you're looking to do is build yourself a consistent long-term income by actually working to help people. Remember what Zig Ziglar says, you can have anything you want in life if you just go ahead and help enough other people get what they want. And that is really what Leo is about. We're in the education business. And even as members, we're educating new team members of the blueprint for success with Leo. It's all about learning. It's all about us being educators and helping to educate people. So think long term, not short term. And then lastly, you've got to go the extra mile. You can't lose sight of your ultimate big goals. The only way you'll lose sight of those goals is if you quit. So it says here, never, never, never give up. Never quit. Because if you quit, you cannot win. But if you stay in the game, it's like being a footballer or an athlete, you always have the opportunity to win again. You know, someone may go as, you'll remember, oh gosh, his name has left me. It will come back to me in a minute, but our guest speaker in Mauritius, Talon, you know, he went to the Paralympics and he wanted to get a gold medal. He didn't, he got a bronze. But he had the opportunity to go back again and go for the gold. And that's really the way you need to look at it too. This is a long-term proposition. We're not looking for overnight success and quick cash. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This is about helping lots of people to be successful and move towards their goals. And as they do, you naturally will too. So really, really take a think about that. And if you haven't done step one, set your goals, then come on. Let's get those goals set, because you need them. It's the GPS, it's a blueprint, it's your route finder, it's your Google Maps for the rest of your life. So why wouldn't you have them? Okay, and in the news, we've seen an article that's come out in the Newslark Tuesday, October the 2nd, and this is in Pakistan, and it's actually, the title is not quite reading quite right, but anyway, the article is about the fact that now it's become something that they can't ignore, because the growing popularity and acceptance of digital currency and their trade. Not good use of English in the title there, but this is great, because a week or so ago we had China talking about the fact that, you know, digital currencies are something that is an asset and must be treated that way, etc., etc. Now we've got Pakistan saying, okay, we are not going to be able to ignore any longer digital currencies and the way that they affect trade and how they're going to help, we believe, their economy. So what we're seeing now is, you know, the starting of a ground movement where more and more countries are starting to come out positively about digital currencies. And this is great, because this proves that Dan and Leo and all of you are on the right track, headed in the right direction at exactly the right time. Because once these articles start coming out, every Tom, Dick and Harriet will want to jump on the digital currency bandwagon. And that's okay. Of course they will, because there's always copycats. However, they don't have the 3, 4, 5 years experience that Leo does. And experience is something you can't buy. It's something you have to go through. So even though in the past countries and authorities may not have been that sort of happy with the idea of cryptocurrencies, now they are starting to talk positively about it, and that's great, because now we are in a much stronger position than we would be if we were to launch a digital currency today. So keep yourself in the loop with this news. It's very easy. You can go to your Google settings or whatever your search engine is and set up a news feed. And you just put in the criteria you want, and every time an article appears in the news about digital currencies or whatever, it will send you an email, and you'll be able to keep in front of the news, because you need this. This is great stuff to be able to show people as you're presenting Leo and talking about all the different elements of what we do. So the Leo Coin market service, well, this definitely is taking off. And it's amazing to see the amount of new members that are purchasing the LMS, and also the amount of members that are converting their DMS to LMS, which I sort of get. You know, for the company to offer you the ability to do that, I think is tremendous. So you don't need to buy an LMS yourself. If you own a DMS, you can just convert the contract from DMS to LMS. And, you know, the LMS has something the DMS doesn't, in my opinion, and that is that the LMS is more predictable, because we're dealing with a more stable cryptocurrency involved in that package. If we look at the DMS, you know, it's been up here and down there and in the middle and up and down, because the digital currencies that they mine for and they reward with in the DMS fluctuate greatly, and you all know that with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that other stuff. Whereas the great news about LeoCoin today is it's been a very, very steady eddy digital currency, which means obviously that with the LMS you can predict and be more confident about what you potentially will return from it. So if you want to convert from DMS to LMS, you can. It's simple to do. Or if you want to purchase one, absolutely can. It's a great thing to do. And this is definitely the right time to do it, because with all this positive new news coming out and what we're going to look at on the next slide, you want to be ahead of that curve, you know, first mover advantage, so to speak, as they would say. So do take a look at the LMS, and if you've got any questions about it, do contact your upline. Now, the new LeoCoin 3, okay, is well underway as regards all the development of it with me here and his team. The estimated launch of that will be December 2018. Now, that's estimated, ladies and gentlemen. So please make sure you remember that word is December 2018. New upgraded website for the exchange of LeoCoin as well, which is tremendous news, and rapid rewards for our Leo members. Now, remember that unlike other cryptocurrencies around the world, everything that is done for Leo Coin or is done with Leo Coin is done to primarily benefit the Leo member. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's how it should be, because you're all members of the Leo family. But obviously, as it gets more and more market acceptance and is used more and more by people that may be outside of the Leo family, then it's going to be harder and harder and harder to do things exclusively for the members. So what I would say is take advantage of the exclusive things that the company keeps offering you as regards to your acquisition of Leo coins. And if we look at this little roadmap here, that's going through, not necessarily in the right order, I don't think, but it's going through all of the things that's going to be happening with the new Leo Coin 3 roadmap. I'm going to start at the top. So we're looking at, firstly, obviously, new rewards. Well, we've already seen some of those because you had the rank awards. That was cool. There's some other things in the pipeline too, which I can't talk about, not on today. You've got the KYC wallets. So that's a new thing to have there. New smart contracts, because obviously this is Leo Coin 3 will be going over to the Ethereum platform rather than being on what we're on now. And then new wallets to go along with that. And then new exchanges, so that you'll see more and more exchanges around the world that will be accepting Leo Coin, which is obviously very positive news because it gives you more PR, it gives you more brand awareness out there in the marketplace. Also, new proof of stake mechanisms, which is really, really cool. And then lastly, the new merchant program. Now, each of these on their own is irrelevant. Put them together and you have one hell of a roadmap, because this is designed to make using the Leo coin easier, more secure, more effective, more transparent, with all the smart contracts and the new exchanges, to get more awareness in the marketplace, and then to have the new merchant program, which means more and more merchants will want to come on board and accept Leo coin. Obviously, you don't need to be a scientist to realize that when with all this in place, more and more people outside of Leo are going to be interested in Leo coin, which means we've now got a reversal of the supply and demand. More and more people will want Leo coin, less people will want to release a Leo coin, and you know what happens in that scenario. It's no different than gold or silver, cryptocurrencies, anything, supply and demand drives price. So we should all be very, very excited about this massive project. And it's going to mean that, you know, in 12, 18 months time, we're going to see a very, very different landscape as regards to where we sit today with our Leo coin. So you are in the right place at the right time. And really my advice to you is you should be acquiring your Leo coins in every way that the company presents to you, and you should be acquiring them and amassing them and getting ready for that real ground surge change in regards to Leo coin in the marketplace. So now let's look at some events and what's going off around the world and as we wrap up the year, really. I cannot believe here we are in October. We're fast approaching Christmas and then the new year. So in Guadeloupe, 10th of November, I'll be conducting a live seminar there. It's the first live seminar actually in the world where we will be having VIP live seminar tickets. So looking forward to that, so I can sit down and meet the VIPs and have lunch with them, etc., etc. Now, tickets are strictly limited for this because they're already selling out very, very fast. They're up on the platform, so you can redeem your regular live seminar ticket or your VIP one there. But when it's full, it's full. So we have a set capacity. I think it's 500. I might be wrong, but you know, don't wait 2 or 3 days. If you want a ticket, do it right after the webinar and get your ticket. If you've got teams there or near there that want to go, then again, communicate with them and get them to get their tickets straight away. If they wait a week, they're going to be disappointed. If you've got prospects in that area that you'd like to send along so they can experience a live seminar for themselves and see a Discover Leo presented in a great way by our leaders there, then again, you can redeem one of your own live seminar tickets and send them along. Just let events know that you're sending them along so we can make sure that they're taken care of. So that's November the 10th. And then in Finland on the 24th of November, we've got a live seminar and Discover Leo 2. And Dan will be coming in on that one via satellite, myself and Magnus, probably you all know Magnus from Sweden, will be conducting that event. Again, it's strictly limited. I believe it's 500, definitely not more than that. When they're gone, they're gone. And obviously Finland is absolutely exploding right now, thanks to our leaders there. And so these are going to go quickly. So again, if you've got prospects or local team members you want to get along, then they need to be getting those tickets this week. Don't wait. If they wait, they're not going to get in, and they're going to be disappointed, and they're going to have to wait till next year when we're next there. Office closures. So the Hong Kong office will be shut on the 17th of October for the Shangyang Festival. And the Canadian office is closed today because, believe it or not, it's Thanksgiving there. Our thanks to Fan for giving up a day off to help us with the Chinese webinar just now. And Karachi's office will be shut on the 9th and 10th of October. So it doesn't affect you really, other than those offices are shut. Business as normal, platforms open, web shops open, team support's available, all the normal things, because obviously we're a global company, and you know everything continues to march on regardless of whether offices are open or shut. So the call to action for this week: use the product packs to generate excitement. The new product packs are really gaining big momentum. All of them, all three of them. And they offer tremendous value for money. You think about all of the education and learning that's included in there, with the live seminar tickets in there and the VIP live seminar tickets in there. If you're dealing with the gold pack, then obviously you've got the gold in there as well. These packs really do generate excitement when you present them in a professional way to our potential new team members and customers. Investigate the new Leo Coin market service. You know, if you don't know anything about it, get onto the website, take a look. Call your upline, get some advice, speak about it. If you're thinking about changing from DMS to LMS, maybe speak to your upline and just see what they think. But at least investigate it, because you can't promote and sell something that you don't understand. So it is important that when new products come out that we go and investigate them and look at them and fully understand what the company is offering. Excuse me. If you're qualified for Brazil, make sure that you fill up your rooms. So if you've got one ticket, make it two. If you've got three, make it four. And then lastly, join us in Guadeloupe or Finland. Invite your contacts to come along. Both will be amazing meetings, and I'm really looking forward to working with the leaders in those two countries. Gosh, excuse me. So Monday's webinar will be done, excuse me, 15th of October. Make sure that your team knows and that everybody is on that call for lots of good news. So this is Andy Hansen before I die, live on a webinar. So thanks for your time. Take care, and I'll see you all over the top.